And it wasn't very long. We just had them for maybe a couple of weeks or something. They were in Schleichheim, near Dachau, the camp, the concentration camp near Munich. That was a real bad, that one in Auschwitz, big concentration camps. The Germans had over 2,000 camps like that all over Europe for the displaced people.
Wow.
And they had some pictures in one of these albums that I have of some of these little people that, when the war was over and the Allies took over some of these camps, they went over there. The Germans took off, and they left the gates open, and the so-called people that were there, they didn't want to come. They didn't want to escape. They thought it was a trap that the Germans were waiting for them. That, and they probably couldn't go very far because they were just skin and bone. Just skeletons.
And all the dead people that he saw.
And and I have pictures of where they have buried. They're just stacked up like wood, like cores of wood.
Well, if you were to think of probably the most joyful and exciting moment that you had with your life in the military, can you share that?
They were all real swell. When we hit the target.
When you hit the target. Very good. Well, if you were to, I'm going to ask the inverse of that. Mm-hmm. The most horrifying or the most heartbreaking moment. Would you be willing to share that?
I would say that one of the ones that was really touched me was in Munich when this train arrived, and we were in the train, and in town these children, hundreds of them without parents, were waiting for us to throw candy at them. All kinds of shapes, little girls and little boys. And the ones that were attending to them were nuns from the area, and they were hungry. And of course they were German kids. And you looked at them, and none of them had parents. They had been recovered by sisters of different localities and people that were herding them around. They would herd them down the highways to keep them alive, and food and that. And the same, in Munich, I remember one thing, but that was the one that was really touching to me. Too. And I remember another thing in Munich while I was there. I went there to give blood at a hospital. And it was a German hospital. Mm-hmm. German nurse.
It's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, with a square needle.
With a square needle.
But I remember downtown, they had a lot of break-in stuff, and you could go over the stuff with a Jeep and go over and in and out of town. But in one place they had cleared this plaza-looking thing, and they had dump trucks coming in and dumping potatoes. People could come in and get all the potatoes they wanted. They were starving. But the one I remember very much is I could see the faces of the little kids begging for food. Yeah, that was very touching.